Well, folks, here's some bad news for any of you MAGA weirdos out there who decided to shell out $500 to buy a Trump cell phone. Those cell phones, for about the fourth time since they were announced all the way back in June, have once again been delayed. Oh, shucks, right? I mean, you would think that the guy who ripped people off with his NFTs, he ripped them off with his Trump coin, he ripped them off with the Trump watches and the Trump colognes and perfumes and the Trump sneakers. You would think that the Trump phone from the Trump organization would in fact not be a ripoff. I mean, he ripped them off so many times, surely he wasn't going to do it again, but he did. And it's absolutely one of the most hilarious things. Honestly, it's the most hilarious story I've gotten to cover so far yet in the year 2026. So thank you for that, Donald. But yes, these T1 or Trump One phones were announced as part of the Trump cell phone service back in June by the Trump organization. The phones, which are covered in fake gold, are $499 a piece, so $500, right? People were forced to pre-order them because, hey, supplies are going to run out because so many people are going to want a Trump phone. So all of these gullible MAGA fools out there shelled out $500 to get their name on the list to reserve their phone. And they were told in June, the phones are going to be out in August. Get ready. And then, of course, as August approached, they were like, yeah, listen, the phones are going to be out in September. And then September rolled around and they said, hey, the phones are actually coming out in late October, early November. So the people who, again, were down $500 were like, okay, I'll hold out another month here. And then in November, they were like, oh, actually, yeah, the phones are going to come out at the end of the year. And then right at the end of the year, literally hours left in the year, to get these phones out to these gullible MAGA rubes, the Trump organization announced, oh, duh, they're actually, the phones aren't going to be out till like late January. Now, I don't know if they said late January 2026 or just the more vague late January, which it could be any year in the future. But once again, for like the third or fourth time, these Trump phones have been delayed. But what gets me about this, what makes it so funny, is the rationale they use to say why this private company, the Trump organization, was not able to get the phones out. And they said it was the government shutdown. Yeah, the government shutdown prevented a private company that is not a government entity, didn't rely on the government for the spending or the development or any of that. No. A private company says the government shutdown prevented them from getting their phones from China, which again was not dependent upon the government shutdown in any way, shape, or form. So even while conning people, they're trying to con them further by blaming a thing that's not related to them as to why your $500 has not yielded any tangible phones yet. I have no sympathy for anybody involved in this story whatsoever. You get what you deserve. I hope Donald Trump continues to rip you people off. That is one of the few good things I actually like about him, is that he is very good at separating very stupid people from their money. So I hope he already sells you on next year's model phone. And I hope you put a pre-order for that, and I hope it shows up 30 years in the future, if at all. Because that's what you people deserve. If you are going to follow this Pied Piper right off a cliff, feel free to do it. Just don't expect any sympathy from those of us who are not gullible idiots. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.